this is this will be a series of there will be series of videos in this topic, which is Microsoft Access, and we will cover Microsoft Access. It's how we can utilize Microsoft Access and as well as using SQL language. So let's begin with our this tutorial. Okay, so beginners tutorial Microsoft Access, utilizing Microsoft Access and SQL Server, SQL. Sorry, SQL. Introduction to SQL. Let's first give you some briefing on the SQL, and then we'll go into the Microsoft Access, and we'll uncover some some of the objects which are utilized in Microsoft Access. So, um, just a brief overview of the introduction to SQL. SQL is basically named as structured query language. SQL is used to manage and manipulate data in database. In Microsoft Access, SQL is the language behind queries, providing an efficient way to extract and manage data. This tutorial will guide you through basic SQL operations using Microsoft Access. We will cover setting up the database, writing basic SQL queries, filtering and sorting data, joining tables, aggregating data. Let's now begin step one, setting up your database. So let me go to the Microsoft Access and we will set up our first database. Blank database. It says, let's give us a name. Starting MS Access. Okay, let's create it. That will be the window we will have in Microsoft Access when we create a database. And let me give you some brief overview of what's in it. So there are objects in the Microsoft Access, which are table and related views. We can create table, queries, forms, reports, right? So these are the things we can create and use to manage our data. So let's go back to our tutorial. Open the database create. So we created the new blank database. Add a table by clicking on table design in the create tab. Okay. So it says open database, create a new blank database. We created that. Number 2 step, define table structure. Create table named students. So we'll create design view students. Students. And then it says student ID. ID. We created that. And its data type is auto number primary keys. So it's auto number, right? Now it says first name, last name. So we have the student's first name. So you see, it automatically gave us these data types because that's what. Sometime we might have to change these, but normally it gives us some suggestions, and we can read. Right now we'll go with what is suggested, and in case something we need to change, I will change it. First name, last name, and then it says age. Age is a number because it's not a text, so we have to use this number field. Then grade. So grade could be short text. The grades are basically grade A, grade B, grade C. So this is a text. Okay. So we'll save this table. Yes. Create another table. You see this, if we go to create, we'll have these options. Create another table. And rename it. Okay, we have to go to design form. Okay, when we go to the design, we will give it a name of the second table courses with the following fields. So we'll name it as courses. So for the uh, course ID, auto number, ID, auto number, course name, short text, that's fine. Student ID, student ID. So this is a foreign key. It will be a number. Let's see what it gives. Number, and it's a foreign key. It's a primary key. It's a foreign key. You see, there are some options here. So this is basically a foreign key for a student. You see, in let's save this. I will explain more in this respect, right? So this is a students table. This is a course table. So student table, when we create a student table, first example, we say first student John Smith. John, last name Smith. Smith 20, grade A, Then we can add Edward. Edward 21, grade B, let's say Sheena, age 19, grade A, A plus. Let's add few more records. No, 18, negative, code, age 3, B plus grade. So there are some students we have, student ID 1, 2, 3. So here we see every student has a unique number. These cannot be duplicated. So these are the IDs which denotes each student. Like John, is what's his student ID 1, Edward, and so on, right? So 4, 5, 6. These are the student IDs. And now we're going to go to the courses. So let's write down. So John is 1. Okay, so we can add the courses. One student can have one course, one student can have more than one courses. And same as course, one course could be acquired by one student and it could be acquired by two students or three students. I will explain more in that. So for example, French student ID, for example, we have a one student ID, and then math student ID 1, English student ID 1, basically right now I think we should first add the I think we should first we will add the courses. Student ID should not be gone, should not be here. Okay, so we have courses in French, math, English, geography, geography, statistics, statistics. Okay, so we have 5 courses and we have a different students. right? John, Sheila, and now we need to, because these uh, two tables, one contains the information about the students, one contains the information about the courses. So we need to create a third table, one more. Create a table, design. And we see student courses details. Okay. Let's say we will student courses detail ID is will be STUD, student courses ID, right? It will be auto number. Then we need a foreign key, one from the students and one from the uh, courses. Here we will have a course ID, will be a numeric. And then we will have a student ID. It will also be a numeric. You see, we don't have any information about the. We have the information about the students. We have the students information about the courses, but we don't know about right now about the students' course details. So for this data to be entered, we will create a form where we can enter information about what courses student is taking, right? So let's do that. It's just a quick overview of how we can enter the data in through the forms. Create a form. Create a form wizard. Let's start with the wizard. Give you some. It will be more faster. Or or we can create a. Let's start with the wizard. Wizard will help us to. So we'll create. We will select. We need to select a table where we need to put the enter the information, right, in the form. So we'll select the table student course ID. Okay. We'll create it a tabular form because we need to see all the information and enter that. Right? Tabular data sheet, justified. Let's see tabular one. Finish. Okay, so we have this form where no student ID have any selected any courses, no course ID and no student ID. There's no information right now. So we will go in a design mode, right? So these are the two pieces of information we need to add. We will need to select from the other tables. So there is a very beautiful feature of Microsoft Access uh, using the lookup. So we can look into the table which student is that, and then what course it is taking. Let me show you how what we will do. Okay, so let's do that. Let's make these, because these are numbers, we can make this smaller. Can make this smaller. Okay, now here we will select the objects where we Microsoft design mode. We have we can insert text boxes, we can buttons, we can use variety of options. We will use the combo box. See, let's add a combo box. Oh, it's not getting it here. Let me open this database again. Enable contents. We need to enable contents. I think that's why we are having some issues. Okay, so let's go to the design. Okay, we'll create, we will put, you see, let me show you how we did that. Let's click here and then just put it here. Okay, the moment we entered that, it will ask, I want the combo box to get the value from another table or query. So we'll take use a table. I will type in the value. No, I will find a record on to my form based on the value I selected in the combo box. So let's go to the next. We are near to the course ID. Let's do that. And then, okay, we need the values from the another table. We want the course value from another table. And then we go to next. We'll select all of these, right? Okay. So we don't want to show the IDs. We just want to see the, because IDs will be record. I will show you what's the purpose of the course ID. Course IDs basically will be behind the scene. It will be recorded into the course, student course details table, right? Student course details is a form, but it will entered into the details table. Okay, so we'll hide that, then go to the next. We don't want to remember, we want to store the value in the field. So we'll store the value in the student course table in the course ID field. So we'll name it course. Finish. And we will name it a, let me do this. Course, course name. Okay. Let's Go get back and view it. What's going on? You see, we can select French, then its ID will automatically come here. Let me, but we need to also have a student, which student it goes, which student is taking. Okay, so we will go to the design mode, and then we need to enter one more combo box for the student as well. I want the combo to get the values from another table or query. This time we will look into the students table, right? I hope that makes sense. We'll select student ID, first name, last name. So you see here are students IDs numbers. We can hide these and we will have these. And we want to store this information here in the student's ID. And this combo box would be students, student, finish. And then we will name this student, student name, name. So here we can select, for example, French, course ID, student course ID, and we can select John Smith, last name. Here we will select a John, first name or last name would become student name. Okay, so normally these are goes by the last name. Let's do that. We'll we'll do the combo box again. And then we can select last name and first name. Okay, because last name was always different, you know. That's why we'll always choose the last name. Smith John. Okay, last name. Yes. Student. Student. last name. Okay, so we'll save this one. Okay, we need to remove some. Okay, so we have French, and the student name is this. And then again, we take the French. French is now taken by Kane Edwards. Kane's last name would be his student last name. Okay, and then we will have French to be taken by Sheila Johnson. Miss Johnson's have this number, right? So three students have taken the French, and now there will be a math program, and it's now taken by Smith Gold. English is taken by Henry Amelia, and then we will have statistics taken by Smith Johnson. Okay, so now this data is, you will see this how quickly we entered the data. Let's design because there are some issues we are having. Student, uh, let's remove that. Let's see what it says. When is the designer side? There are some, we need to some finishing. Okay, we don't want to show the course. Okay, we need to go to the design. Okay, okay, let's do that. Basically, it's just finishing touches. We need to make it some beautiful, more readable course ID. It should go here. Okay. You see, that's how we created a form without writing even any coding or anything. We designed a form. We can do more. We can let's make it more beautiful. So that's our student course details. So if we go to the table, all of this data you will find it in the tables and go to this. You see, we have here, you will see only the course ID and student ID. That's the concept of foreign key and primary key. So here, student course, here we have a foreign key of the student course ID and the foreign key from the primary key of the student ID here is a foreign key. So it's one, here one, and then it's two. But it's very hard to know what's happening. We need to create a report. That's what is basically the details of courses and students and all that, right? Here we can see, and here we have courses and students, and then we can create a view. We enter the data, we view records in both tables for testing queries. So now we'll create a view. Because my focus more is on the Microsoft Access functionality, what tools it has to make it easier for new people to enter into this field. Once you will have a grasp of what's happening in the relational databases and how these are, what's the purpose of there and how they makes the life of the ordinary people easy, then we will move into further advanced level of SQL and other details. So let's we create a query. So you see, we have the courses, we have the students, we have also have the information that which student have what courses. Now I will create a view, create a table, go to create query design, query wizard, but we'll go to the query design. So here we'll select courses, students details, and students. Here we'll select course name, student first name, last name, and course detail ID. Basically, we don't need that. This is we just need to know the course name and what students and who has this. And you see, these are the relations. Let me show you what it's all about. Here we have a select courses, name, student first name, student last name from courses, inner join student course detail on courses.course ID is equal to student course detail.course ID, inner join this. We'll go into more details. Let's first start with the basics of the Microsoft Access. These are the topics which we will cover later, right? These are just a bit of advanced, but initially we can do a lot of our work without going into the details of that, right? Once you develop your interest to learn more advanced, we can look into that, okay? So we'll create query student. We'll give the name to this query, student course details, okay? So we'll go to the view. You see, in this query, we have French is taken by John Smith. French is taken by Edward. French is taken by Sheila Johnson. Math is taken by Smith. English is taken by Amelia Henry. and this. So now we have this information from the view. We combined these. Let me show you again what I'm talking about. We linked, we have all the information in the courses, we have all the information in the students, but we joined these two tables through three third table because these are many to many relationship between courses and students. Let me explain what are many to many relationships. In a simple language, one course can be taken by many students, right? For example, English can be taken by John, Amelia, Henry, so on. As well as one student can take many courses as well. For example, Amelia can take English, math, statistics. There is no constraint between these. So these are many to many. Both of these tables cannot be joined together. We need to have a third table. We'll combine these together, and that will be student course details. So by combining these three tables, we selected the user friendly. We want to create a user friendly view where we can see the course name, student first and last name, right? I mean, user friendly means, let me explain you that again. Let's save that. Okay. So this is, you see, this one information is student course details in basic level, in a table level. No view here is involved. Let's go to the tables. Here we see student ID, course ID 1, student ID 1. We don't know who is the student ID. But if we go to the view, we have this information in a very in the beautiful way. We know now who's taking. This third level, this the third object for Microsoft Excel is reporting, right? We have the forms where we can enter the information. We can enter more information. For example, statistics is now taken by Smith. Statistics, no, statistics is already taken by Smith. We need to have a Johnson. Okay. For example, geography is now taken by. You see now geography is taken by Edward and statistics now taken by Sheila. And now here we will create a report, small report also. There is another function from Microsoft Access where we can create a small reports. Okay. So the report design, we will start with the report visit. We'll go later on to explain the from the very beginning, but let's quickly show you in this tutorial how we can create a course can name, right? So course name, first name, last name, and then it's asked for, do you want to add any grouping? We can add a course name grouping. So it will give us more user-friendly view of the data, which course is taken by which students, right? There's certain we can design, but I think we should go for first one. Let's go to the, you see in the courses details, you will see student course detail, course name English, it's taken by Amelia Henry, right? French is taken by three people: Sheila Johnson, Edward Kane, John Smith. Geography is only taken by Kane. Math is taken by Smith Gold. Statistics is taken by two students, John Smith and Sheila Johnson. So this is basically a small application we created just to give you an overview of the uh, relational database and how we store the information in Microsoft Access as a beginner level tool, or it can be used at a very advanced level also. But we just touched the functionality of Microsoft Access, so you can use some other examples and create following these example and create your own application, small application in the Microsoft Access. Let me recap everything. First of at the first stage, we created tables. In our data, we need the courses table. See, it's basically it's a college database. We created students table, and then we created a students and courses, and then we created forms to enter the data. That was the form which is used to enter uh, the information, right? And then we created a query to make it to use it, create a report on based on the query, right? Let me show you this query again. We use the courses and students, and then we linked these together. Let me show you the properties, join properties. It says courses, student, course ID, right table names, left course ID. Only include rows where the joined field from both sides are equal. Means that if the student ID is, if there is a course and the student, then we should together, will link these together. Okay. So basically it's an inner join. For every course ID, it will link a student to that, relating to that. Okay. And then at the last, we created the report. So that's it for this small tutorial. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy that. And if you have more, you need more information, just leave the comments, and we will provide the information requested. Thank you. Have a great day.